Hey, what's up? I'm glad for the Lakers win tonight, and that kind of what prompts me sometimes to talk about basketball a little bit more times than not. And tonight is one of those nights because towards the end of the game is where most of the game was exciting, and it was because the Lakers fumbled and stumbled and almost lost the game. But luckily, at crunch time and the dire straight moments, defense won it out. Now, defense isn't just, for basketball, defense isn't just a one time thing. Defense isn't uh, there's 3 seconds left and that's when I actually got to do something. It is all the time. It is making your presence out there known, because it brings attention, and when you bring attention to yourself, people pay attention. When they pay attention, you can do great things. You really can. Uh, it's it's just like driving down the lane, and you get people coming after you to block your shot or whatever. You can kick it out. You have all these options, or you could just take it. Um, but once you get a majority of people actually paying attention to you, they're going to come after you even more so than not because they don't want you to score, right? That's the whole idea of playing the mental games with your defenders at all times. That's where defense comes in. If you're a great defender, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Does not rattle you at all. It kind of even maybe intensifies it, but I think it all starts with defense. And then you can turn that into great offense because your defense is great. Uh, Even if you're not the best shooter, because uh, you build confidence pretty easily by doing the smallest things in basketball. Stealing, making a great pass, making a great read for the pass that's supposed to be there. Because, sometimes you got to pass to make the score. This is all about basketball, guys. Like, not many people know me too much about talking about basketball all the time unless you're in my house. I only give like little concepts and tidbits and stuff, but because I'm not an X and O's guy, never have been. It's more of an awareness thing, because that's why I like defense. Defense, well, at least from when I was growing up, that's what I saw. That was more of the bruising type of basketball, than what it is now. So like defense was that thing. It was Dennis Rodman. It was Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Gary Payton and Karl Malone, and it's all of that. So defense sparked the offense because you were able to stop them. If you were able to stop the offense, then you have a better chance of scoring. You really do, because they can't score, right? So that's the whole idea. And I think even when I was younger, I mean, there were scores that were pretty high, but there was a lot of low scores too, because there was just a lot of good defense and not a lot of great shooting. Uh, but that has totally changed, because everyone can make threes now. Everyone can shoot a lot better. I know I wasn't able to. I wasn't the greatest shooter at all, but I know my youngest. He's not great yet either, but he'll get there. I think he's going to get a little bit more experience through his brothers than he will have ever gotten just watching video and stuff like that. Because he's not interested in basketball, but it's going to come second nature. because everyone else does it, right? So, but yeah, defense. That's where I think I've based when I played basketball. When I based a game, it was I held that ball, right? Or it got started, and once you get out there, your energy's pumping, and even if you're not on offense to begin with, once you do, you get to where you need to go. But when you get back on defense, it's boom, it's flip, 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 flip every single time. Mentality's changing because you want to be aggressive, but it's always different. It's a different type of aggressive. Because, if you're too aggressive, it's just a lot of fouls. But it's more apparent if you just show the defensive hand up front. They're going to expect it later. So that's where you can play that mental game too. Because you can lay off. You can act like you're going to pull the chair out so they can fall. You know what I mean? That happened in the Lakers game tonight too. And it didn't work, but it was pretty funny to see. But anyways, yeah, that's enough of that, I guess. That's a little bit of my basketball mind. I don't really talk too much about it, but that's one thing I want, I guess, kind of get into a little bit. Not a lot. I mean, I already have a channel for that, and I haven't done much with it at all, just because of everything else and just being lazy and not doing nothing. But I think getting into that mindset, if I could just put just basketball stuff out there, it's going to be so weird to even put that on here, like I just did. But putting it out there in general it's I've seen other people do it on YouTube, and I mean, people have more experience than me, so it's like coming from a child being able to play it, and then as I grew up, I wasn't really able to play it, but the mind still played it. You know what I mean? So things are different, but it's not like I haven't tried to do it since then. So it's a little different perspective, but I'd like to present that in a different form or fashion, even if it seems a little weird, because I think it's hard for a lot of basketball players now to describe that type of stuff. I mean, I know it's out there, but it's hard for them to describe it. Maybe it's because the feeling is just a feeling, and if they're still playing, maybe they don't have a lot of time to think about it, maybe until afterwards. But not even then, not really too much has been printed that I've seen. I know that it's out there, but it's not like a plethora of stuff. It's more of, you hear little tips and tricks and stuff, and then you want to know more and pay this and pay that, and I'm all up for the paywall and making money and stuff, but I think knowledge is going to be the greatest tool without having to memorize it, because you're going to have access to internet the whole time. So that's one thing I tried to do with my kids really. When they ask questions or anything about anything, it's like YouTube, Google, all that stuff, because it's easy for them to say, hey, boom, and they can reference things, and it's easier for them to go back to it. It's not like a book and, like, say you spilled water on it, it's done for, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have that knowledge, and the internet's there. So that's one thing I've tried to keep with them. So I think it builds that memory differently than it was able to be when we were kids. So it kind of sucks, but it's a great thing. But it all starts with defense, and I don't know. Maybe we'll get somewhere. We'll find out. Oh, I gotta get going. Have a great night.